I'm eating dinner right now as I'm recording this, so hopefully this gets on your nerves. It's come to my attention recently that there is a World Video Game Hall of Fame. That's right, the things that the NBA and the NFL have now exist for video games. I mean, I say now, but it started all the way back in 2015. I actually didn't even know that this existed. So today I'm gonna take a peek at all the games that they have here and hope that I'm not annoyed. The list was curated by Jon-Paul C. Dyson, like the Dyson Airwrap, who is the Strong's Vice President for Exhibit Research and Development. First impressions on this guy, he seems like a gamer. He looks like what most people think gamers look like, and maybe that's a good thing. Let's find out. The first game of the class of 2015, the first year they started, is Angry Birds, and already the list has taken a sharp downfall. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Angry Birds is one of the biggest mobile games of all time, I think. Apparently the list is based on icon status, longevity, geographical reach, and finally influence. Which all in all I think is actually a great combination for what should depict the Hall of Fame list. Like, these are all games that push the envelope for gaming. I mean, the rest of the 2015 list looks good. Super Mario Bros. 1985, Space Invaders 1978, the original Sonic the Hedgehog game, and of course The Legend of Zelda.
Great! I'll grab my stuff!
The whole 2015 wrap really looks solid. I expected to be more annoyed. I expected to be pissed off. I think the only one I disagree with slightly is Angry Birds. And maybe that's just a hatred for the app games in general.
You got a game right now?
Get the fuck out.
Going swiftly to 2016, Minecraft is nominated twice. Why is Minecraft here 2 times? Are they basing it on like every update? Sid Meier's Civilization is here, the original first one, which is actually really cool to see. This guy definitely knows the history of gaming. These are all games that were the first to do what they did, and they did it well at the time.
I've talked at conferences at Games for Change, that things like educational games go back, as you all know, to much earlier before computer games.
2020 must have been a rough year because we have Bejeweled, Nokia Snake, and Frogger all in the new finalist list.
Do it now! Kill me!
They were just like, let's just look up app games. Let's just really dig into this app game idea. You know, the more that I look through this list, the more I feel like it's just being safe. I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to find something to get angry at, but I feel like there's a lot more that this guy could have put in that made more sense in furthering the knowledge of games today. Like, we get it. Pac-Man is there. We get it. Miss Pac-Man is there. We get it. Pong is there. These are the games that are the history jewel of what gaming is today, their foundation that was laid. But like, you know, I would like to see some indie game representation. What about games like Undertale making it, for taking a classic 8-bit style of game creation and truly revolutionizing it to make it something different? Again, I'm not saying that this was something that they should have been doing in 2015 when they started, but maybe in the modern day we stopped seeing games like Wii Sports getting a holdover nomination, essentially redoing what we've already done before. I think another title that would make sense to put in here is System Shock 2. I mean, this game definitely set the pace for what an RPG should feel like, especially in a first-person shooter concept. Games like BioShock wouldn't exist without games like System Shock. I think instead of making it a walkthrough of history for games, I think it should be focusing on the pinpoints of every genre here and there. Sure, throw app games in there too, why not? But right now I feel like it's just the history of games as a whole. And that's not a problem exactly, but it comes off as less of a Hall of Fame and more of a history museum of fame.
I think I remember this game.
Like, take the class of 2021 for example. We have a bunch of holdover finalists: Call of Duty 2003, Guitar Hero 2005, and then we have some new inductees: Microsoft Flight Simulator 1982, Pole Position, which I've mentioned before. But none of these scream 2021 inductees. They just feel like they could have been added ages ago, and some of them literally were. I want to see the yearly concept meeting of what they talk about when they decide on what game to add. Are they like, all right guys, what should we add this year? Let's just look up a bunch of games that people liked to play in the past and then just work from there or something. Like, I don't know, I want some more modern representation. In the latest inductee list, they added The Last of Us, which is like the first bud of what I would like to see from this Hall of Fame. There's a lot of games in the modern sphere that really capture what it is to make a great game today and break the boundaries of what we've always known. I feel like they're playing on the fence because they fear that if they add Grand Theft Auto 5, it would just add too much of a stir and it'd be like, What, you have that game on the same list as Miss Pac-Man? What's happening? But I would like to see that. I think it would really put into perspective that, yeah, we are also still making games today. What foundations were laid in the past are hard at work in the modern day sphere of gaming. And stop it with the holdover finalists. I don't want to see Angry Birds in the list of 2023. Goodness gracious. You guys have been putting this in since 2015. I'm tired of it.
Asking what were the questions that historians of the book or historians of science ask about their fields, and then projecting forward to say, okay, historians in the future, scholars in the future will ask those same questions. So what do we need to collect now so that 100 years from now, people can ask these questions and answer them?
I hope and pray that in 100 years, we are not looking back on Angry Birds. In conclusion, you know, cool list. I respect what it is that they're doing, and I respect what the outcome is. It's really cool that there is an actual museum in New York that admonishes video games, but at the same time, I'd like to see them play it a little bit less safe, you know? What about some VR games? That would be amazing to see. VR is transforming the landscape of video games right in front of our eyes. You can't argue that a VR game can't make the list because it's too young. The very idea of a VR title is revolutionary, and if they want to make it a time capsule of sorts, they need to keep up to date with what's changing right now in the industry. Again, maybe I'm being too critical, you know, maybe I'm doing that thing again that I'd be doing, but it's just a concept, you know, it's just an idea. I'm curious to see what they're gonna add in the future. I'm sure what they're generally doing is just taking their time to add any modern games. Again, I see this year that they added The Last of Us, which is really cool, really awesome to see. The Last of Us is a perfect example of a game that should be added because it's showing that, hey, games are not just about action anymore. We can also tell a very deep story. We can damn near play a movie. And these are the things that people who aren't as into gaming need to know exist. Anyways, that's all from me. I really have not much else to say about it. It was interesting looking into this list, but I'm gonna go back to eating now, you know. I was in the middle of something. As always, if you like the video, subscribe if you want to subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you next week. I'm actually really excited for next week's video. It's gonna be fun. And I guess the fade out's happening now. You know, I should probably visit that museum. What's that? You said I have no bounds for reviewing this Hall of Fame video game list? Sitting here judging when I actually haven't even gone to the exhibit myself and I'm on Wikipedia. Yeah, Wikipedia, the thing that they told us never to use in school, and we're still using it because it's a really good tool, but like it's actually not a good tool, and it